What's up, everybody?
Hey,
How you doing,
welcome
dude?
to the show, Ray. We have a show we got to do today, buddy. Glad you can make it.
Well, I had to go get my sweater. I had to go get my whatchamacallit. I had to.
Your cardigan and change your shoes.
Well, I have a special guest here with me. So I have the one and only Matt Fox.
Oh my Lord!
It's right there. There you go. So
Best
you remember playing Mortal
ever.
Kombat and you'd have the hip did it like in the pop out? That's basically Matt. So
you should have him wearing like the Where's Waldo kind of like the hat, the shirt.
I would, but that's already a thing at conferences. So maybe we make him Carmen Sandiego or something.
Yeah, but that's not the same. It's the stash. It's the look, man. Like you could literally make him sit on a shelf in your office there while you're doing this, like an Easter egg of some sort. Like honestly,
I think you're being very generalist. You see somebody in a skull cap and you automatically assume it's Where's Waldo.
I'm totally. Yeah.
Well, it didn't take us long to get off the rails. So that's not what we're here for. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us in this awesome event. So for those that don't know, we've talked about it on Dispatch. We've talked about it on other shows. ConnectWise is doing their annual PitchIT event again. Sean, you want to give a little background on what PitchIT is, since it's your baby this year?
It is my baby last year and this year, along with, and I believe my team is watching too. That works with me with this. So PitchIT, very simply put, we're looking for the best. We know it's a Shark Tank concept, right? We know where to get the 3 finalists, and we're going to look for the best that's there, right? But the reality of this for us, the overall purpose is for ConnectWise to find the best startup vendors that are going to be able to create the most impact for our vendor, for our partners. That's what it boils down to at the end. So and it doesn't matter. There's no specific industry or niche or anything like that. And I always stress that because we know that cybersecurity is super sexy these days. And
sexy.
It's so, I mean, it really back to skull caps. Like Where's Waldo or cybersecurity? I'm not sure.
Michelle and I were going on a date night. Instead of putting on some like Boys to Men, I was just like reading her like the NIST protocols. It was so hot.
Was it Boys to Men, or was it like Albie Shore? Because there's a little bit, or is it like some Casey and JoJo? Let me sing you a verse, kind of.
I've been waiting all my life to meet some PitchIT contestants. So,
oh, that's slick. That was good.
You like that? You like that segue?
Yeah. I couldn't just laugh at it. I had to actually acknowledge that was one of your more. You're probably tired right now. So after this,
I'm exhausted. I am so exhausted. You have no idea. So okay, so PitchIT, these are vendors that are in the community, right? They're serving the MSP community. They want to serve the MSP community. That's the gist of this.
Absolutely.
Ideally, you want them to be part of the ConnectWise ecosystem as part of that community, right?
Absolutely.
At the end, the winner has to be
really. I mean,
yes.
Well, let's back it up. Even you have about 60 to 70% of our vendors that have competed are currently MSP still. A lot of them solved the problem for their business and started to find customers, and like they realized it was something that everybody needed. So they started to scale and add on to other people. So that's already, yes, serving the MSP needs. Absolutely. Right. On the other side of things though, we are looking for we are looking for people that are going to be part of the ecosystem itself. We are looking for it in a way that they have to be. And we did an interview with Jason McGee last year, and he said it best. We're not looking for coin operated, right? We're looking for people that are actually going to be able to be an add-on and to be able to complement everything that we're doing, because you were an MSP for years. It's very difficult because you have all these different platforms you're using. You're going to all these different portals. You're going to all these different places, and you're really you're hoping for a single pane of glass. As real as that is, we know that's not completely realistic.
It's not a bad ideal to get to.
Absolutely.
It's not realistic, but the closer the better, right?
Yeah, if you can take it from 20 to 5, you've won, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's so. Yeah, ecosystem is important for us. They have to be involved with us. You're talking about one of the biggest communities in the world for MSPs. So they're looking to find success in our world. We're looking to be successful for our partners. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. And I already see the chat going over. I know you have your people in the chat. I see your dad, Keith Nelson, in the chat. Your MSP dad.
Really? We still.
Or we'll call him your channel dad. There you go. Or channel daddy. We'll figure out one.
And yes, Bobby, it's a fair generalization. I agree. Thank you for agreeing with me.
Absolutely. So, all right. So last year was your first year doing PitchIT. You had revamped a few things. You did some
Yes.
things that are brand new. Um, can you give us some highlights from last year? And this year's different. It's a different year, but give us some highlights from last year for the people who didn't know.
No, sure. Well, and even with this year, things have carried over as far as a general program, and we've just enhanced more. So actually, Louis just posted about. Thank you, Louis, for Father's Day's around the corner. I appreciate that. So, Louis, being one of the PitchIT team members, thank you, Louis, again. Let me remind myself not to let you know that we're doing these things. So, last year, Louis, Andrea Barrow, myself, we sat down. We were like, hey, we got to revamp this, right? And the goal was to be able to take them through an accelerator program that's an incubation program, right? It's accelerated, it's incubated, and we looked at how can we help them? What's the best way to help a startup company? Well, we don't know what they know. We don't know what they don't know, right? So we worked with a bunch of different Cameo coaches that we brought on that all are practitioners within their respected space, right? And we put them through 16 weeks. Every single week, there's workshops between mergers and acquisition, sales and marketing, channel alignment. You take your pick. It's there, right? That was to get them, because at the end of it, there can only be 3 people that can go to the finals, right? And as we know, there can be only one. So with that said, we have to make sure these guys get
And I
something
assume
out
you
of
have
this.
swords for PitchIT, right? I assume that that's the final winner.
Yeah, it's more like a Monty Python, though. They come
Oh,
in and
okay.
they, in the Trojan horse, and nobody's really in the horse, but it's in there. So, which is a
Yeah.
great cybersecurity reference too. See, so so the goal is to make sure that these guys again are not just coin operated. We want to help them find these companies find success, right? You want to be able to, the winner wins 70,000, second place wins 30,000, right? We know that, and that's great and all, but you should be looking for longevity in the space, right? You should be looking for a way to grow. So that's why this incubator program exists. First, to train them on finding their gaps and give them some enhancements, maybe. Also, then doing things like this with people like you all, where we are getting them some awareness, getting them some exposure, so they can find clients.
Yeah, and that's get everybody joining PitchIT, last year's class, this year's class. There are different stages of development, different stages of their business building. So, but
Absolutely.
part of that training in growing their maturity is getting them that exposure, like you just said. So, one of the things we're going to be doing on MMN is we're going to be doing these weekly. Some weeks we'll have to do 2, some weeks we'll might have to skip, but we're going to try to do weekly 2 of the PitchIT contestants per week. So we are going to have them come on here, and we're going to talk to them, let them talk to the audience for 15 minutes, ask some questions. This is recorded. You can play it back, and then we're going to do it again towards November and see how they've come, how far they've come. Right? It's
Absolutely.
you know this. You have to do this 1,000 times before you get comfortable.
Oh my
Um,
Lord. I mean, think about the first time you and I went on air together. We were a train wreck. I mean, I
yeah,
mean, we're obviously really good looking guys. Thank goodness for that. But we were really not ready for we thought we were, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden we were doing it, right? And you're
yeah.
absolutely right. And you asked about even the highlights from last year. Last year we had one of our largest participating class ever. Last year, right? We had 18 vendors in that competed, went through the whole gamut. They worked phenomenal together. But this year we oversat that even. We're at 27 this year.
Yes.
And we had no shortage of applications. We even had applications that made 0 sense. So
Yeah.
it,
Oh, you didn't want to get that? I still think you should have taken that ice cream maker that focused on women with 2 cats or more. I would have absolutely invested in that one.
well, if they would have changed it to the ice cream maker with an IT provider with 2 cats or more, then I think they would have had a
Oh,
chance.
there you go. All right. So, and that's the reason, if you're wondering why we're doubling up, that's exactly why we're doing doubling up. It's a massive class of 27 contestants.
Yep.
Some are going to be some familiar faces from last year. Some will be brand new. But I want you to treat them, chat. I want you to treat them like you would treat any vendor. Put them through the ringer. Ask the questions. Let them know what to expect. These vendors, I hopefully are going to be at upcoming conferences. They're going to be at IT Nation, Secure, Connect, or both.
Mhm.
So take some opportunity. So
Absolutely.
to get that started, let's welcome our first guest, who is returning from last year, is he not? Mr. Chris Dix?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, both today are returning from last year. We have 5 that returned from last year.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
Yeah.
and just so everybody knows, and I want to make sure I state this now, they can only enter as an entity twice during the entirety of the entity. So we're not going to keep bringing them back. Like, this is a time for them to shine. That so We stress make
So
sure you guys are ready.
you're following presidential election rules. 2
Yes,
terms and you're out. Okay,
yes,
that's fair.
2 terms. I mean,
Okay.
that's well, and also just for the sake of it, you have to have the ability if it were you and you were coming into the competition, you would have to think, am I ready to go? Am I really ready to go
Oh
now?
yeah, you see those people on American Idol that are there 5, 6, 7 times. And I know you consider yourself a lot like Katy Perry. She's an idol. I get that. But, all right, let's
Is it the
let's
hair?
let's do this. It's the hair. It's the hair. You're a firework, buddy. So let's bring on Chris. Let's go ahead and bring on Chris Diggs. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, Ray. How are you?
Good, good. I see you have the same Katy Perry haircut that Sean has.
So
Yeah,
we're clear, Ray will
popular.
always be jealous, Chris. He will.
Always. I have the hair. He has the beard. Absolutely jealous.
Look at his beard. He looks like he literally. I'm not. Let's just go. Sorry, go.
Kyle Jackson said it best. He said, I could go as a Amish for Halloween and fit right in. So I'm good with it. So, Chris, talk to me about ChatStyle. So, let's get some background on you first
Sure.
before we talk about ChatStyle. For those that didn't hear you last year, they haven't had the pleasure like I have of meeting you at events. Can you please tell us who you are and some of your background?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Chris Dix. I am a software developer by my background. I've been doing it for a long time, since I was about 12 years old on my Commodore 64. It's what I enjoy doing. It's what I'm good at. And so, yeah, I'm the founder and lead developer of ChatStyle, where we're trying to make chat manageable for MSPs and their customers.
And what is ChatStyle? Is it a matchmaking app? Are we swiping left for one MSP, swiping right for the other?
Only
Or
for
what
cats.
is it?
Oh,
Oh, cats.
yeah,
Cats.
yeah, that's cat style. That's a different. Yeah, we're a we're an automation tool, not a communications platform. So we connect the chat tools that you use to the other business software that you use, like ConnectWise PSA, trying to make that all work together better rather than introduce another tool for you.
Wait. So you're saying if I'm using your stuff successfully, I don't have to log into another platform. I don't have to open another UI. I mean, Sean just said single pane of glass doesn't exist, so obviously you're wrong, right?
Yeah.
Not
We
the
are
first time.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, we're trying to be that proverbial single pane of glass to make the messaging application that you have already invested in time and money, whether it's Microsoft Teams or Slack, turn that into your single pane of glass for all the tools that you need to do business.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Sean didn't know I was going to ask this. Neither did you. So that you're returning, both of you returning. So I'll ask you both the same question. What was your biggest takeaway from last year?
Oh, my biggest takeaway from last year is that there was a lot I needed to learn, especially about the business of MSPs and the channel. Um, uh, Technology comes easy to me, always has, but not being from an MSP background, just having friends who I'd worked with for years, I didn't have a full appreciation of that side of things, and the focus that the program had on that was valuable enough to bring me back again.
So what do you? I mean, obviously winning, but what else? Now knowing you have an advantage over the others, I would say, because you know, or at least have an idea of what to expect. Obviously, Sean's going to have some curveballs for you and some new stuff. But
Sure.
what are your goals for this year besides taking away the winning prize? But besides that, what are you looking to get out of this?
Looking to get exposure, things like this today, to get our name out there, to connect more with these other companies that are going to be our peers in the space for years to come. Hopefully, we're big on integrations, so having a familiarity with all of these tools, having relationships with them going forward is just going to help us. And honestly, it's the legitimacy too of being able to be part of the ConnectWise ecosystem.
So it's chatstyle.ai. Keep scrolling across the bottom. AI is a big big point of conversation for the last several months.
Yeah.
It's like cyber insurance. I can't remember the last time I had a conversation that didn't have one of those too. So
thanks for bringing up the other one. Then we appreciate that. That's good.
yeah,
I got my bingo card out.
I know it's sexy, bro. I get it. So so how is ChatStyle leveraging AI? We've seen AI and other tools. What's the secret sauce with ChatStyle?
Well, honestly, when I first got the domain name, we had very little AI in it, but you've seen how much the landscape has changed over the last 6 months, a year. So now we are tightly integrated with OpenAI, specifically the Azure OpenAI service. We're using that in a couple of ways. One, to on the customer side, we're using it in a very limited fashion to collect information about the ticket. So if a user is reporting a ticket via chat, we can use AI to ask relevant questions and then get out of the way. But to do some of the more tedious tasks that the tech was going to have to do when it got to them in the first place. And but on the back end, we're giving techs full power with OpenAI. So they can use OpenAI and ChatGPT from within Teams or Slack and use it to even talk to the PSA. So you can just with a natural language expression say, create a new ticket for this customer that is about this particular topic. And we can reach out to ConnectWise PSA and take care of that for them.
So let me ask you, why is that so important? Why is AI important here versus it's just another tool?
Well, I think that AI is another tool, but it's one that, in this case, with the natural language capabilities of the large language models of ChatGPT and some of these other recent developments, it lowers the bar for how productive you can be with chat ops type capabilities. Not everybody wants to try to remember the commands that you need to type in Teams or Slack to create a new ticket or add a note or update a status. That stuff's been around for a long time, but being able to use it in such a casual way that's easy and familiar for everybody takes it to a new level.
Okay, so you're in front of the audience. You have 30 seconds. You get in the elevator. You have a whole elevator full of investors and MSPs. They all want to buy you, every single one. And they say, Chris, explain it to me in 30 seconds before we get to the top floor. What do I need to know about your company? What's the most important thing?
The most important thing you need to know is that your customers and you are already using chat. And if you have reservations about it, our tool is there to remove those reservations. The reservation that it's too many different things, well, we can talk to any chat channel. It's that if it's that it doesn't scale, well, we put automation in the right places so that it can scale for you. And most importantly, if you don't want chat because it's not talking to ConnectWise Manage, ConnectWise PSA, well, now it is. So there's no reason not to use chat.
So yeah. Well, first off, I like that, but I want to go back to you'll love this because this is a personal story with Ray and I. When I started working with Ray, I always texted Ray, and he's like, "Why can't you just go on Teams?" I'm like, or actually, then it was Slack then, and I was like, "Yeah,
it
no."
was, yeah.
I was like, I'll just text you or I'll call your cell. He's like, "Please stop doing that." Like literally, he wouldn't respond to me, so I had to be indoctrinated into chat.
I do the same with my family. Believe it or not.
That is very true. That is very, very true. But one of the challenges that I have is, and I know Ray experiences too, and many people, is we're on multiple medias, right? So we talk about the omni-channel presence that we have to have, right? So how does this work in conjunction with that?
That's one of the coolest things about this is you as an MSP are probably using either Microsoft Teams or Slack internally, but your customer, they might want to come to you on the website, they might want to text you, SMS, or they might have the other tools, Slack or Teams, that you aren't using. So what we do is no matter which of those types of channels they want to use to communicate with you, you get to sit inside the tool you've already invested in. So somebody sends you a text, you reply from Slack. Somebody sends you a message from Slack, you reply from Teams, if that's what you want. So everybody's happy, everybody gets to use their favorite tool.
And that way you have the MSP using the tool they want to use, and the client doesn't have to go to the MSP. They don't have to go to their ticketing platform. They don't have to go to their lab tech tray or whatever it happens to. Sorry, automate tray.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm old. So
That's true.
they don't have to go to the tray icon they can just do it right from there, wherever they're comfortable, which realistically is going to be their Slack, their Teams, or whatever they're using.
Yeah, whatever their most comfortable platform is, it's not only the best way for them to get in touch with you, but it's the best way for you to get back in touch with them. So, closing that loop on a reply to a customer, getting them to respond to you faster is one of the most valuable things about this, I think. It's everybody here, every MSP has had trouble hunting that customer down to close a ticket. If you get to reply to them via text because that's how they talked to you, it's going to happen a lot faster.
So let me ask you, I'm going to ask you one last question because we do have to move on to our next guest. We're all friends here. It's co-opetition. But what makes ChatStyle different from another chat app, for example, right? Like we have our good friend Bobby from Thread in the chat, and we had them on Partner First, I think last week or the week before. There's a lot of competition in the space. How does ChatStyle stand out?
Well, I think that the biggest difference for us, and I have a lot of respect and admiration for what these other companies have done in this space. I think the biggest thing for us is trying to be that single pane of glass, like we said before, like trying to introduce nothing new except more capabilities to the tools you're already using, making teams work better for you, letting you stay inside the applications you're already using. That's, I think, the biggest difference between us, that and the ability to do some customizations.
Very cool. All right, Chris, and if they want to get a hold of you, I assume it's going to that website down there on the bottom.
Yep, it's going to that website down at the bottom, and it's
at least we're hoping.
Yeah, and you can email me at chris@chatstyle.ai, and I will.
It would be really awkward if that was like somebody else's website.
That would be, wouldn't it?
Asking questions about your interview that you didn't do. Like, I saw you online.
Yeah,
no,
but having the right website, I mean, that's to me, that's like the first step toward winning the PitchIT competition. So you're welcome.
So I'm halfway there. So.
There you go.
Well,
all right.
I don't know what they have. We'll give you like an eighth. We'll start with an eighth. It's good.
I'll take it.
Oh, okay. It's the first step, right? All right, Chris. Thanks so much, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you both.
You're going to be at GeekCon next week.
I am speaking. Yes.
Looking forward to it.
We're going to hang out.
So we'll see you then.
Absolutely.
All right, Sean. So 1 down, 26 to go.
Well, I feel like we've made some progress.
We did that first step, like I told Chris, so 1 down, 26 to go over 15 weeks, which that's a crazy schedule.
Welcome to my life.
Good thing we have some veterans here, some veterans of the PitchIT competition coming back. We have Matthew Fisch and Tim Schnurr of FortMesa. Sorry, I had a brain fart.
I got you. Hi, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it.
Sean, are you skipping like breakfast or lunch to fit in the extra 10 companies here?
It's I thought you were referring to my medium shirt, but no, I don't know what lunch is. I usually just have a smoothie now at this point, like in between. So no, this is great though. And Ray was pointing out the fact of over the next 15 weeks we got a long lineup going here, right? It is no joke. It's a lot. But you guys, I mean, the way everything went last year, it's kind of hard for us not to give back and not make sure we push you guys as far as we can, make you guys do the uncomfortable things that Ray and I had to do years ago and actually start doing it. And it was uncomfortable, almost like, yes, I'll leave it at the uncomfortable part. Good.
No, these channels are great. Like we get, where are we right now? We're on YouTube. I know you're on my LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, Facebook. Yeah. The answer is yes. We're everywhere.
Yeah. Yes.
And if my kids win, we'd all be on Discord, right?
There you go.
We're actually, I just got the message. We are on the internet.
There you go. I'm so happy we're on the internet. That's fantastic. We're doing that's two positive things.
Thank you, Al Gore. He made this all possible. Thank you, Al Gore.
Oh, reminds me, there's a book, Wizards Don't Sleep at Night, about Vince Cerf and some of the others that were actually responsible for DARPANET and all that stuff.
Nice.
Good book if anybody is looking for that kind of nerd stuff. So speaking of nerd stuff, Matthew, Tim, you guys are also new. You guys are also returning on this. You guys did very well last year. Why the hell did you come back?
You're the one who gave us the stage slot.
I know, but still, no. Okay, so I gave Chris a little nicer way of asking that, but like, you guys did this last year. You had really good success last year. What are you looking to get out of it this year? Like, why are you back?
The partner ecosystem is great, guys. The whole event team. I don't know, Tim. Like,
yeah, I can take this. I mean, it was a great experience. Like, the biggest thing is the subject matter experts that are brought on week to week, and then also the cohort and the people. The competitors are actually, we're supposed to be competing, but they're a great resource. We share like either a Slack channel or Teams. Sean, I don't know what we're doing this year, but incredibly resourceful in terms of finding, some of your channels, Ray, that you have out there, right, in terms of talking to other vendors or places where you can find customers. Just like every week's a different topic, and certainly helped like getting a crash course last year, and I think this year like we'll really be able to leverage that and take it and go with it. So it's quite an accelerator, and many thanks to Sean, Louis, and the ConnectWise team.
So you guys, you're in front of thousands of people last year. You'll be in front of thousands of people again this year. So I hope you have a little bit of experience at this, but give me the elevator pitch. What is FortMesa besides a cool name?
Do we get 2 elevators? So
so it's an elevator per person. Is that what this is? Okay.
Do we get that? So I'm actually going to steal Tim's elevator. He came up with this. So we help partners, MSPs, IT providers own their clients' cybersecurity roadmap. And like the subtitle there is, and do it while making lots of money without sending all of the profits to your vendor ecosystem, right? MSPs are delivering the core service, and we help IT providers really orchestrate that using their teams rather than someone else's SOC. So I don't know, Tim, you want to give it a go?
Yeah, and this is a lot more difficult. Sean will admit last year he was like, what the hell do these guys do? And there's been an incredible.
That's the problem with security products, right? Like that. Let's be honest. I've had MMN as my 8th company. Creating the elevator pitch for each one is the hardest thing to do, because when you build something, you're so excited about it and you want to talk about it forever. And then you have cybersecurity, which is its own ball of wax and mystery and enigma and orange goo. So it's like, it's hard. It's hard to fully explain.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the word, the CIS controls NIST about a year ago, not a lot of talk about that in conferences, and now it's plastered all over them. So there's been a great shift. Just our timing, I think, was early, but now FTC safeguards, Graham Leach Bailey or something like that. CMMC,
Graham Leach Bailey,
all these 3-letter acronyms that are standards, right? So we're trying to get all MSPs to map their security stack back to a standard, and really getting, it's all about posture or left of boom. Once again, I'm throwing out all these terms here, but like there's whole conferences named after right of boom, right? Like, so it's really helping us position ourselves, and our products basically, we enable you to be able to offer like those left of boom or like call it posturing services. And, like that's just, how do you use your tools in a better way to match those frameworks? How do you document things? How do you evidence yourself? And like really setting the MSP up to credential themselves so the customer knows like, oh, these guys, like they nail it on that standard. So like, I want to go work with them because like I can use that standard to go get better cyber insurance rates or satisfy a regulator. So our tools really help orchestrate it, and a lot of I'm throwing out words like crazy. GRC, right? Governance, risk, and compliance. And believe it or not, I noticed there's a lot of competitors in this pitches class. Like clearly the timing, like I said, has come. It's finally arrived. We're really trying to it's all about organizing your techs and your MSP and your people and sitting down with the client. A lot of it's like people and planning and project planning. And it's really boring stuff. Let's face it. Like all the sexy stuff is like the AI, like we just heard of it in AI chat, right? And threat detection and automation.
I mean, Sean thinks cybersecurity is sexy. I know mapping controls is super sexy.
Thor was in a movie about it. Okay, the dude that Thor, he was in a movie and made it. All right, so
Hemsworth is in a movie too, right? You know.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, and we have some AI under the covers, Tim. It's just that, like any good AI, you shouldn't see it, right?
Yeah.
Like the loud AI is the stuff that doesn't work yet.
Yeah.
But
that's true. Been there.
Can we go back to this? You talked about left a boom and right a boom, right? So, and hearing this, like, and last year when I met you guys, I was like, you're right. I was like, what the hell do you do? I don't even know. English, please.
I failed terribly. But it was on me, Sean.
I agree. It's not me. It's you. I totally agree with that. And so what I would say is that when you guys speak about this, the way I see things, that you're talking more proactive as opposed to reactive, right? How to take the tools, be proactive as a cybersecurity offering. That's where you guys.
You have to do both if you're going to do good security. But I'll tell you, being proactive, just like it's good for your health with diet and exercise, it's profitable. There's nothing less profitable than a 5-alarm fire and a cyber breach. It's like the least profitable thing for an MSP to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
just here
no
for the
surprises with preventive security, right? Like they're like, oh, that control came out of left field. I got to do it now. That just doesn't happen. It's not like a breach. So,
we're not allowed to say the B word here. We're not. It was an incident, sir. It was bearing investigation.
Yes.
So, do you feel you're more prepared for this year? Do you feel you have an advantage over some of the other people in your class?
Matt, you want to take that one, or I'll take it?
I don't want to step on toes.
Are you asking me in the morning or the afternoon? At the beginning of every day, I feel super prepared and ready to take on, and we're gonna be number one in this class. And 4 o'clock ticks around, and
so
I
you
look
say
at
you're
400
good
things I
until
haven't
you
done
talk
yet.
to Sean? Is that what you just said?
One more time, please. Can you say what you're going to be again?
We're going to be the number one PitchIT partner in 2023.
So, en español, you mean uno?
That's a pizzeria in Chicago, sir, and it was
garbage.
Oh,
I love uno.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. That's another conversation for another time. But okay, so no, but I love the enthusiasm. I love the passion. Yeah, we're gonna go get it. We're gonna be number one. I think you have to have a healthy amount of ego to join up and win any kind of competition. So I'm all for it. Now, let me ask you something. You have CompTIA Trustmark, the security Trustmark, right? It came out. Doesn't map to specific controls. It kind of has a hodgepodge of controls to get the MSP started. There's other tools, among which companies I know you work with. I don't want to call them out because they're also PitchIT contestants and they'll be in the later times. But what makes FortMesa? How do you guys stand out? Because, like Sean said, there's a million security, compliance, cybersecurity things out there.
It's like if you look at like the hype cycle right now in cyber, GRC is having its day right now. We've been in the market a few years, right? We early on decided to focus, and our focus is MSPs making money off cyber. There's a lot of GRCs out there. The vast majority of them are direct enterprise. They work directly with medium and large enterprises, sometimes the SMBs, but in any case, there's no room for an IT provider in that relationship. Or they're built for the assessment community, the advisory community. And I think there's something special about the problem set that an MSP has when they are delivering IT value, packaging it up. And the way we see GRC is it should be a tool that MSPs use to tell their best cyber story, right? And the other GRC vendors out there, and I don't want to say this is every single one of them, they're focused on how an independent security auditor can make money, or they're focused on how an enterprise can go to the board and justify a budget, right? And I think that by focusing on our partner community, we have some special value to offer.
Yeah, we're MSP first. So, that's a big difference. And the other thing is we're not specifically focused on standards. Most people, like you look at a GRC and like you're going to get those 3-letter acronyms, SOC 2. You can do an abbreviated offering. You don't have to do the full roadmap, right? So how does it work best for your MSP? Like what's the most profitable things I can put out there and sell to the customer, yet remain kind of somewhat tied to that framework. So
we know that this is a difficult task for a lot of people. That's why you guys even exist. So how do you make this easy for them?
Look, MSPs are already doing the hard work. If they're using our tool to use an analogy, if they're like Jiraing their way with our tool through their security architecture, the GRC product, the evidence, it's done, right? It's already done. We've collected the evidence. This is not a tool we use to go prove what we did after we did it. Although you can use our tool that way. If you bring this in at the beginning, it's going to help you sell your customer upgrades. It's going to help you acquire your customers. It's going to help you explain to them why this bundle or that product is relevant to their compliance needs. And then, of course, it's going to help you plan how to deliver it. And yeah, there's paperwork too, right? Like that spits out the end. But and that's why it's easy. We're not just going out and doing the papering exercise. We're helping the MSPs plan their way through service delivery.
Awesome.
Nice. Well, Matthew, Tim, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. I wish you guys the absolute best of luck in this competition. I know we'll be following very closely. For anybody that wants to reach out to them, like I said, they've been in this space a few years now. It's a mature product. So reach out to them, find out. Simon, can you put the website on the screen on the bottom?
And you guys are going to be at GeekCon also, correct?
I know Tim is.
I'll be helping a competitor.
They also run a Friday show together. Okay, they're not.
Yeah, so you just asked like, how do we make it easier for the MSPs? And it's Tim and I every Friday walking through this stuff. So
Tim squared, yeah.
Team Tim.
So go meet up with Tim. Tim Schnurr. The other Tim.
Please specify.
It's literally the only place you can get a buy one get one free, meeting PitchIT contestants at any conference. So, until Connect. So go meet up with Tim. Matthew, are you joining us at GeekCon?
Not going to be at Geek. I'll have to see you guys later in the year.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much, gentlemen. Sean, we have so. You just keep coming out with the announcements, right? You just had the PitchIT class announcement last week. You just put out an announcement now. You want to talk about it?
Yes. We just announced the head coaches for the season. We're excited. We're really excited because first off, we brought back 2 of the finalists from last year. No better people to have than them. With Humanize It, Adam Alter, and with Alert Ops that actually won the event last year. Cam will be the one. They'll be doing the head coaching for this year, and also Callan Sapien. Which Callan, for most people know Callan, but a lot of people don't know, Callan was one of the original founders of this PitchIT competition when he was with ConnectWise years ago. So,
that makes sense. That makes more sense. I knew it wasn't your idea, so that makes. Callan's a good guy. He's those of you in MSP Geek know Callan was the reason the first ConnectWise vendor channel was created. Also, he owned that space for a good time.
He just gets it, man. He understands the importance of sharing and getting people engaged and trying to create that alignment between vendors and partners. He's just smart about it.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is recorded. You can go watch it if you missed any part of it. And we're going to do it again. Not next week because we're at GeekCon, right? And then
I'm in Jamaica.
we're trying to get work done. I'm going to a conference to work, and you're going to Jamaica. That is not the same thing, sir.
Well, I'll be thinking of you.
Please don't. So all right. So next week I'm gonna be at GeekCon. Sean's gonna be drinking some Red Stripe. But the following week, Simon, who we doing the following week with?
Say that one more time.
Words are hard. I'm struggling today. We are going with pending.
Actually, they're picked to be winners. I saw this. I saw the odds, and pending are 1 and 2. They're running neck and neck.
Oh, nice. And to be determined is number 3. Is that
that's a TBD? I mean, that's like, well, anytime you could do an acronym of it, it usually puts them in the top 3, right? Like normally.
That's true. That's absolutely true. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you'll find out when we find out. We will put it out on social.
And we'll have an announcement.
In 2 weeks, we will have our next one. We'll have an announcement.
We'll have an announcement.
Coaches. Sean, thank you so much for taking your time, dude. I appreciate it. Those of you in the chat, thank you so much. We'll see you in a little bit. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
Deuces.